You're listening to The Royal Riot.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Robino soars, back post header, yes! Kate Del Fava! Robino straight to goal, stretching for it, yes! Another one for Utah! Tatum Milazzo, the center back! Now, how about that? It's been the center back show. Del Fava is down. EJ in transition. Ladles an option. Dummy run. Jackson saves McGlynn. Gets back and dives on it. Mandy McGlynn, the hero on that play. Lacasse off the corner now for the Royals. Robino. Lacasse. These have been lethal for Utah. Tanaka again! My goodness, what a finish. Mina Tanaka. Stolen by Lacasse. Gets a little twisted down. Pile up penalty. Lacasse hits. And it looks like it's a nail in the coffin for the North Carolina Current. Woo!
Here's Palacios rolling this forward. It's CC Delzer on the board. The Royals find their equalizer.
And what a clever finish. That first touch, though, immaculate.
That is it for the first half. Portland scores early. Utah scores late. And it's all even after 45. Chloe Lacasse puts it towards goal. Delzer! Delzer delivers again for Utah. Chloe Lacasse looking in fields. Lays it all the way through. It's Brecken Mozingo! The substitute making her impact felt.
Great first touch. Goes to the back post with power. Leaves Arnold helpless.
Miyabi gets the return ball down the line. Miyabi running in. Right in front. Oh! Palacios! Some fancy footwork from Kiana Palacios. Utah's having fun with it at home.
Oh, one of the best finishes you're going to see this season.
The Cass puts it up. Delfava! It's the cherry on top. It's a 5-goal day for the Utah Royals. Lacasse a hat trick of assists.
Okay.
Everybody okay?
Okay, welcome back to Royal Riot, the podcast where we okay about all things Utah Royals. Nah, we're better than okay because the Utah Royals are coming off probably the best game in club history, debatably, for a handful of reasons. 5 goals, 4 different goal scorers. Week before that was 4 goals. If I had told you 9 goals were scored in 3 games, would you have believed me? What's up, guys? I was like, I could keep, getting to the top of the roller coaster, but we have so much to talk about, all good things. So let's first start with hellos. It's good to have everyone back. Stockton, you're back.
I am. How are you?
You feeling good after beating Portland?
Yeah.
There we go. We'll come back to Stockton for a little Dr. Evil corner. And Brooke, do we have any insights from the bench that we'll come back to you from?
Maybe a few little things. There wasn't too much drama, at least in the last game,
Okay.
because of the lopsided score.
Yeah, I guess you can tell us, what did a coach look like down bad? Because I did not go to the game. So I don't have any insight from in-stadium. And Sean, I believe you got to attend all the media needed for the past few games as well, right?
I most certainly did. And I'm still high as a kite because it was just so much fun. And it's so much fun to be around the players and Jimmy when they're playing like they're high as a kite. Everybody's high and we're loving it.
Or stay away from drugs. So what's the saying, kids? Don't
do drugs.
Dare to stay away from drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. Yeah, anyways, we're high on kites. We're high on soccer. Stockton, yes?
I was just going to say, who needs drugs when you've got Utah Royals winning 5-1?
That's true.
That's my point.
Also, with how it started, they really were like, you knew how this was going to go after the first 35 seconds. But no, I genuinely could have never predicted that we would score 5 goals on Portland until mid-game. And I was like, wow, Portland's backline actually was really awful. But that's beside the point. And we're not only going to talk about the Portland game because we haven't caught up since a few games ago, but we're not going to do our typical game-to-game fashion per se but we'll touch on, as I mentioned, those 9 awesome goals, many stellar performances, Chloe becoming a history maker for the Utah Royals, just so many good things. But Sean, I believe, has something to kick us off with to help guide some of the impressive stats that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I thought this was amazing. Today, I did a deep dive on the Utah Royals because I wanted to make sure the data matches with where my brain is at on this club. And the data blew me away because it's better than what my brain thought. Assuming all of my stats are correct, which I believe they are, I tried to double check. I didn't rely on any one source. I think this is all legit and it's going to blow your mind. Some of it, we're going to start off easy. It's a little game here. It's just you guys can work together. Some of it's going to be multiple choice. Some of it's just what's the answer. And they start off easy and they get a little bit harder. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they're all easy because you're such big fans. But should we just jump right into it? Because I think it is going to blow the listeners' minds to hear how good this team is. You ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
First question. Which team in the league is number 1 in scoring?
The Utah Royals.
Utah Royals.
I told you it starts off super easy. Anybody know how many goals we have at this point?
31.
For a bonus, which team is second in goal scoring?
Portland.
Spirit.
Awesome.
KC. KC has 29 goals.
Okay.
And then if anybody really cares, third is Portland. They have 28. So 29 and 28 for KC and Portland, respectively. All right, next one. Who has the best home record in the freaking league?
No way.
Utah Royals.
Wow.
Utah freaking
That's
Royals.
shocking. That one's shocking to me.
18 points. Washington's in second with 15 points. And then if anybody cares, we are also the third best away in the league.
Wow.
All right. Where does Utah sit in shots in the league? First, second, or third?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Second?
I was going to
Yeah.
say third.
I'll just
Okay, I'll
say
go
first.
Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3. What is it?
The answer is second with 185 shots. San Diego is first with 197 and KC is third with 182.
Wow.
Wow.
And here's a little bonus knowledge just to throw out. In terms of shots on target, we're fifth. We are 49% on target.
Yeah, boy!
Next one. Who is second in the league for assists?
Oh, Chloe.
That's correct, Chloe. And if you go to the league's site and you look at the stats, they put Croy above Chloe. But if we're going first name, CL is before CR. And so I'm going to say, because they have the same exact stats, same number of matches played, same number of assists. So I'm saying Chloe, CL comes before CR.
Cool. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Here we go. Next question. Which player in the league is fifth in shots on target?
Mina.
That's what I was going to say.
Stockton?
Chloe.
The ladies got it. It is Mina Tanaka. 69% of her shots are on target. She has 22% of the team's shots on target. And also, just to help let this one sink in, let's not forget, in her 15 appearances that she's made, she is deficient a bunch of minutes because there was a period, there's like 177 minutes, which is almost 2 full matches, where she was getting brought back up to speed after injury. Plus, she didn't even play 3 other matches in total. So imagine what Mina would have if Mina had been on the pitch more minutes. Crazy, crazy. And then a little other bonus knowledge. The team is 49% on target. And this I thought was wild. 17% of their shots on target go into the back of the net. And you may go, Sean, that sounds lame. 17%. I went and did a deep dive into the Premier League just to do apples to oranges here, or apples to apples, however you want to view it. Crappy teams in the Premier League are like 7 to 10% in the back of the net. Elite teams are maybe up to 15%. The Utah Royals are putting 17% of their shots on target in the back of the net. Wow. My mind exploded when I read all that. All right, you want another couple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is second in yellows in the league?
Anna.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, that's an easy one. She has 6 in 17 matches. Maroney of San Diego is first. Patterson of Houston is third. All right. Who, and this is kind of a trick question, who is screwed statistically by the Utah Royals' amazing form?
What do you mean by that question?
Who is suffering in her statistics because of the Utah Royals' current awesome ways.
I don't get the question.
Does anybody else need a redo on that question?
Yeah, but I just want to guess Kate for some reason.
Wait, what? I'm so confused.
Okay, let me
Who
try.
is not?
Who is suffering statistically because the Royals are doing so well?
Who is suffering? Mandy?
Mandy McGlynn. You'll remember in years past, we would always ask her, like, how does it feel to be like number 2 in shots blocked and saves? Right now, poor Mandy, and I know she's pissed about this, and she's always yelling at her team about it. But right now, she only has 27 saves, 18 matches into the season. And to give you a little bit of comparison, Silkowitz of Bay leads the league right now with 70.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah, that's
Silkowitz. Yeah, I think that even like statistically compared to the other seasons, I was seeing something. Silkowitz is having a Mandy season on crack, but that is crazy. And what a flip from how it's been
Yeah.
most of her time here. So, yeah, that's crazy.
Wild.
I know the argument always over goalie of the year is such a hard one because it's who is it had the most clean sheets? Who is it that faced the most shots and stopped the most of them? Like, I really feel like it's kind of hard, but 100% better to have Mandy not have to face 70 shots. That's great.
Absolutely.
Or saves. She's faced more than that for reference, but wow.
Yeah, that's insane.
43 difference between her and Silkowitz.
Yeah, that's like a whole 2 players. Wow. All right. Was that all of them?
That was all of them. I have a bunch of other stats that I can bring out maybe as we get talking. I mean, we have second best goal differential, Washington's first. But then I just started to look at everything from previous seasons with teams that were first and second. And can I just say, Utah Royals fans, be freaking excited. My goodness, do this stat show that we are elite.
I love it. But there's a lot of things we could touch on. Historically, what has been our measurement of success? It was making the playoffs, right? I was like thinking about it today and I was like, I care less about a championship right now than I do about a shield. Internationally speaking, the shield is the championship. That is the prized possession because you are the most consistent through the season. Whereas with playoffs and Americans, I love playoffs. Don't get me wrong. I think it's amazing. I don't want them to go anywhere. But you could have a day where you're just not the better team, where you have been the best team through a 30-game season, and then you could lose in a one-off. The fact that we're in a shield race is actually the craziest part to me. I don't think I ever thought we would be in a legitimate contention for the shield at past the half mark. And as you said, very legit contenders. So when do we pivot the conversation? Double-double would be incredible. I briefly listened to, I haven't caught all the podcasts from this past weekend I want to listen to them all because Utah's going to get their praise. So it'll be fun to listen. And there was an ESPN segment and it was Ali Krieger and Jeff Kassouf and someone else. Yeah, they were talking about how they're very legitimate contenders and the reasons that it makes them contenders. And everybody thinks it's going to be between Spirit and Gotham and whatnot. But if it stays as competitive as it has up until this past weekend, it's going to be such a good competition for the Shield. I mean, right now, the Shield is what we're reaching for. And I know that they, of course, want to and will make the playoffs. But I just think this is actually such a crazier measurement than if they made it in at the 8th seed, had a good run, whatever it may be. But yeah, Jeff was talking about how maybe they could even do the double-double. And even if it's a one-off season like the Orlando Pride, who have still been good since, but have been not this crazy, incredible team with just all the right vibes, all the good things happening. They were like, even if that happens, that doesn't diminish how good this team is right now. So people are not only talking about the Royals in regards to being a contender for the championship, but they're talking about it legitimately with the Shield.
That's cool. I would love it if we could do both. I want a parade.
Yeah, it's stupid that they don't give a star for the Shield. They should give something else on the jersey for the Shield if they're gonna honor it like most soccer players view, and all these internationals and whatnot. I don't know.
What if they had something on the sleeve, on one of the sleeves that was the Shield or something. Some kind
Even
of an
just for like the
infographic.
year before or something, if you're the reigning Shield winners or something.
Just put it on their back like a big target. Just put the Shield right there.
Yeah. I don't know, but I do think this year with the Shield race, they're not going to probably be able to have it in stadium because I think it's going to be like, remember last year how they were able to bring it to KC because KC was so historically beyond anything.
Like 30 points in front.
Right. That there was no way. And they were playing like Seattle and Seattle was like bitter that they brought it. And I'm like, I don't even think they're going to have that option because I don't think that there's going to be a clear, even if it's not us, but between, Spirit and Gotham. But when you look at who Spirit and Gotham have and then where we sit, it's just like, if you looked at those rosters, you would not think that we would be sitting where we sit.
There's still 36 points left in the season.
Wow.
So let that sink in with where everybody's at.
That's crazy.
Give us just a minute. We'll be right back.
If you're sourcing inventory for TikTok, Whatnot, eBay, or Amazon, Titanic Sales was built for you. We specialize in closeouts, overstock, and opportunity buys on name brand products. In this market, sourcing is everything. Titanic Sales brings you the deals that haven't been picked over with pricing that leaves real profit on the table. Whether you're testing new products or are ready to scale, we provide a consistent flow of inventory across dozens of categories. Buy smarter, turn faster, and maximize your margin with Titanic Sales. To learn more, call 801-860-8061. Again, the number is 801-860-8061.
And now, back to the show.
Last time we talked, I said, hopefully we came back with good news about the Utah Talons. And so they just won Shield and whatever they call it.
Yeah, because they were a number one seed going into the championship series, so they didn't have to play in the play-in game. They are the only team to have ever won in the championship series because they only had to play 2 last year, and it's best of 3, and then they only had to play the 2 this year. So no other team has won any championship game in the series. So,
wow,
it's cool little thing for Utah.
Yeah, no, I was stoked to see that. Also, they brought him out onto the field at the game I was at, which was nice.
I was surprised to see that, especially with it just happening the weekend before. I gotta give it up to the Royals for doing that timely.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But I get what you're saying about the Shield. Like, it would be really cool to win that, but also with Orlando being the only team to have ever won both. Gross. But I
think Carolina did it.
Did they?
I think so. But years ago. So
yeah. So, well, and it just is rare to win both. So it does kind of scare me a tiny bit, but I get that. You are the winner of the regular season, so that would be really cool. But we got to finish it off with the championship. And like you mentioned, the star. I would love to have a star above the crest because I love that. So
yeah,
if we could win both.
Yeah, okay. So moral of the story is, Royals, if you could actually win the Shield in the championship, that would be ideal for your fans. But
yeah,
just an idea. I don't think that's at all what you're working towards. But
no, but
yeah, I don't know. It's cool. And I mean, the games are evening somewhat out as far as like how many people have played and whatnot. So like, I think we're getting a better idea of where these standings are legit. All right. What do we want to jump into?
9 freaking goals that the Utah Royals have scored.
Yeah, let's just quickly go over the past 3 games, just score line. We beat North Carolina 4-1 on the road. Then Spirit came to Utah and a narrow 1-0 loss. I would say not our best attacking game, but overall, like, kept one of the better teams to 1 goal.
And it was really like their only chance.
Yeah.
Jimmy said in postgame, I listened to it. He said in postgame that it was like a 5-second blip of losing concentration or something like that.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, and teams / players like Trinity Rodman will punish you for a 5-second blip. And there was a weather delay. Like, there were other factors in addition to that. But
I want to see
Yeah, go ahead.
video of the lightning because I didn't see any lightning. There was
I
no
know.
no rain. Where was the weather?
I actually did not see the lightning either. And I was
I want video proof that it happened.
I have to believe that they would not want to force a weather delay, but who knows? Because it was a Wednesday and it ended up being quite a late weeknight game, which then they play at 5 p.m. on 101 degree Sunday when they probably could have just pushed it back a few hours. Would have been nice, but odd decisions in that regard. But that game was fun. I didn't take too much away from it. I really thought we would tie that game, if anything. Like, it just was giving me tie vibes because both close top to the table. They also had a lot of games in that span of time. They had to travel a lot. I just anticipated it would be a good game, as in a competitive match where no one's really majorly dominating and it was whoever could break through. And Spirit did, but it was 1-0, so nothing dramatic. Sean, any comments on that game before we go into the two fun smackings that the Royals had?
Yeah, I'll just say that in the Washington match, that 5-second lapse that Jimmy spoke of, it did come off the fact that Paige Mateer is maybe 5'10", but she's mostly legs, and she was just blazing fast going down that wide channel and then just sent the perfect cross to the also very fast Trinity Rodman, who wasn't going to miss that one. And they did have one other previous to that, like right towards the start of the game, and I thought, oh boy, here we go. This is going to be just them doing that over and over again all night. But thankfully, missed the first, converted on the second, and then after that, yeah, it wasn't the prettiest match, and we were trying to force a lot of shots through a lot of very compact Washington Spirit defenders and mids, but still statistically good match. They put in a really good effort.
Yeah, I mean, Spirit's only given up, as we talked about, that goal differential. Gotham is the best defensively with only letting in 12 goals, and Spirit have only let in 13. So we scored against Gotham, who have let in the least. We battled closely with the Washington Spirit. And at that point, Trinity, I believe, was on like a 8 goal contributions in 7 games type of thing, where players just are on a heater. And Chloe's thankfully on a bit of a heater right now too. And you got to take benefits of those times. They did, and I didn't think too much of it. I knew that it would be a tough game, and I knew that they would turn around quickly and focus on Portland. Sean, why don't you give us just a quick thought on the 4-1 win at North Carolina? Because that was quite the set piece masterclass, if you will. I would say the Royals on Sunday against the Thorns were just a finishing masterclass, but the game prior to that with 4 goals, it was a set piece masterclass because they really didn't play an amazing game outside of putting away 4 goals. And that's what good teams do. Which I have to say, justice for James worked, because whatever James did that week prior to them traveling, he clearly got to spend a lot of time with them because they were locked in and knew what he wanted them to execute at that game. So, yeah, and we can come to y'all and maybe we can all pick our favorite goal from that game because, I mean, how lucky are we to have Mina Tanaka on our team and these center backs who also are willing to become goal scorers.
Take a moment and do your first, second, and third place goals for all 9 because I did that as well. And
okay.
My goodness, they were fun.
First, second, and third.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But let me tell you about the North Carolina goals, as Maggie asked me to do. We had 2 center backs get 2 goals in that match. The first comes to Kate in the 6th off of a corner. She's left alone on that back post, and she's not going to miss it. She just knocks it in like that was the only thing she had to do that night. And then it isn't that much later that Tatum gets hers, and it's off of a beautifully placed pass towards the penalty spot by Naria. And Tatum's just making that second assist. And Tatum's just making that run towards the spot and just knocks it in, which we're going to have a little bit of deja vu in the Portland match where I feel like the Chloe to Cece felt somewhat similar in terms of placement and just that run. But so those were the first 2. And then another one, as you mentioned, comes off a set piece, and it's one of my top 3. So it starts off on a corner, I believe, and it gets recycled. And then Chloe sends in this floater, and Mina's like, I'm exaggerating greatly here, she's like a school bus away, and she does this snap header. I feel like she's at least 12, if not further out. And she does this snap header that goes upper cobwebs, upper left 90. And I just thought, did I see that correctly? Because from that far out, how do you get a snap header to beat a keeper like that? Anyway, it was phenomenal. So good. And then the last one was Chloe earns the PK. The ball's kind of dragging a little bit behind her. She slows a bit. She draws the contact, goes down. It was a foul. It's not as though she just played it up. It was a foul. And then she earned it. So she takes it and she puts it away. And it was a fun night where you're thinking, possibly this isn't, like you said, Maggie, this isn't going the best. This isn't going great. And then the goals just kept coming.
Yeah. And got to shout out Mandy did have a harder game than we typically see for her. North Carolina was peppering us with opportunities. North Carolina came off that game and then scored 5. So this league is just crazy right now. It's kind of in that window where like you're seeing kind of wild results. And we did end up giving a goal in the past 3 games. So I'm sure that's something that they'll want to focus on because they care about, those little things, and Mandy, of course, and the defense and whatnot. But yeah, Mandy's mom, got to see her play live. There was a nice little clip on NWSL for, Mandy's mom being in her jersey and them just thinking she was just a crazy Utah Royals fan, but it was actually Mandy's mom, and what a fun game to get to see her in. And I'm not even going to blame the goal that did happen on Mandy. I think it was just, again, that same situation that we do see us give up goals every once in a while. Just a slight miscommunication. But when you put up 4, you give yourself that room, that little bit of wiggle room. But of course, I'm sure they wish that they could have had a 5-0 and a 4-0 result for those 2 instead of those goals against. But yeah, that Mina goal, absolutely insane. Do not know how she did that scientifically, physically, mentally, emotionally. And I don't know how she beat Kaylin Sheridan, who had a rough few games, but that's a tall keeper. That's a experienced keeper. That is someone who has played against Mina in international tournaments. That was just a class finish that anybody can appreciate. And I think it got a lot of attention, but as always, we never win when they're nominated for things because of other reasons. But in my mind, one of the goals of the season.
Yeah, it was an insane game. Rough outside of the set pieces, but we put our chances away, which is what matters. You mentioned that ESPN clip. They talked about set pieces in a little bit, and they were like, oh, but Utah scores mostly off of set pieces. Not Allie, but the other person. Not Jeff, but the other person. Was like, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put away your chances. And so
think of how many teams win big tournaments because they're incredible at set pieces.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how you score as long as you score.
I mean, I think it was the messiest 4-1 win I've ever seen. It was just like even with 2 goals, I was like, you guys, like,
it looked like we had never talked to each other before.
Yeah, like let's play man to man. You just follow them around, and like I was never like relieved until like maybe the
4.
Really, yeah. Honestly,
yeah.
Like it was so crazy. And then Mina, like she wins so many headers, and I'm like, she's
her
the shortest
duels.
person on the field, like every game, and she gets all these headers. And then she was just left out there. I mean, anybody probably could have got their head on that one with how open she was, but like I don't know where their defense was on that. But thank you, because that was one of my favorites. But
yeah, I think even if they were on her, like she had
perfect.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've been watching Mina because of how many aerial duels she wins, and I've been trying to see what her technique is, and I think I finally figured it out because she's diminutive in size, right? She's not 5'10" or greater, but she does a little hip or butt bump with the leap up, and she helps to get the other player off the ball a little bit, and then she wins it. Yeah, she's really good at what she does. I love it.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like so many headers a game that I'm just like, how? Like she's the smallest one every game, and she's winning all of these battles. Like
according to FOTMOP, she's 93rd percentile of aerial duels won, which is wild.
Wow.
And she's 5'5".
Wow.
Love it.
I
love it.
I don't know what she's doing, but anyone who's small and has been told that they can't head the ball, watch Mina Tanaka. Because whatever she's doing, it's freaking working.
I also want to shout out the defense because in this game, because they kept Ashley Sanchez off the goal sheet. she's top 3 in the Golden Boot right now.
Number 2, I believe, because
Yeah.
a lot of the players are at WAFCON right now. But yeah, so many good people to shout out for sure. I'm sure there's moments we're missing out on, and if we are, sorry. But when there's so many good things that happen, I guess we can't remember them all. It's easier sometimes when you're angry than like elated to remember everything. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. I did make a note, Sebastian Salazar saying, like, going to halftime or something, it's not your grandma's Utah Royals. What the crap does that mean?
That made me laugh. It's just a saying. It's not, it's just a saying. And I also love Sebastian Salazar. So I guess I like feel like he meant it nicely.
I'm sure, but I was just like,
I was like, I think I speeded it. Beep. Because I was like, not your grandmother's Utah Royals was a very funny saying.
I was just like, wait, what did he say? What? Like,
Well,
okay.
guess what? It is someone's grandma's Utah Royals.
Yeah.
So shout out to the grandmas that are supporting the Royals, except the woman who was yelling at Trinity Rodman to get a pacifier.
Listen, as somebody that sits by me, I try to tune her out.
I'm not going to say much beyond that on mic. I'll tell you guys after. But yeah, it was a cringe moment where an adult, a well-aged woman was yelling at Trinity Rodman to get a pacifier after Tatum clocked her pretty hard. And it's Trinity, whatever, X, Y, Z, doesn't matter. But just Trinity turned and said, I just scored a goal to her in the audience.
So it wasn't the person by me.
No, it was mortifying because it was near me. But anyways, shout out to the grandmas, except maybe that one. You get a pacifier, ma'am. People just are funny. Not your grandmother's Utah Royals. Maybe that's the title of the episode. Yeah.
Hold on tight. We'll be right back.
University of Utah fans, Utes football is just around the corner. Are you ready to show up on game day with the freshest, officially licensed U of U merchandise? If you're ready, check out brothersforlife.com. That's brothers, F-O-R-E, life.com to find something new to accentuate your fall football fit. Brothers for Life, or BFL for short, can also assist you in creating custom-made products for your brand or for an upcoming event. BFL Promotions is your one-stop shop for a vast array of promotional products and business gifts. Their extensive offering will ensure that you find the right swag to help you promote your brand. Check them out today at brothersforlife.com and see why so many people use BFL Promotions to show up and to stand out.
Let's get back to the show.
Let's talk about the other 5 awesome goals that we got. And by we, I mean you, because Maggie might not be allowed to go to home games anymore because Maggie didn't go to a home game and the Utah Royals scored 5 goals. If that's the outcome, I will stay home. Like, I will do what this team needs. So we'll test that theory later. But no, I was not there. I was tuned in from home and jaw on the floor from the first 30 seconds for a different reason, and then a jaw on the floor for the remaining 80 to 90 minutes of the game, because what the heck did we witness? It was toasty. Can you guys confirm?
Yes.
Can confirm, even in the shade.
Yeah, it was 1 over 100 at kickoff at 5 p.m. Rough, not ideal, required hydration breaks. And if we're going to come out of this with one complaint, I want to see more people at the home games. I will give people a pass for Sunday because it was really, really hot. But look at what this team is doing. So that can be our plea at the end of this, is to get more people to come out to the home games. But that said, what a show did y'all get for those, 6,000-7,000 people that were there? Tell me what the vibe was in the first minute, though. Because from home, I was like, oh, it's going to be a rough game.
That's how I felt.
That's how it felt.
Especially
I was like, oh dear.
Third game in as many, in a week span, coming off a difficult game against the Spirit. They looked exhausted until they didn't. How I felt.
Yeah.
And I think that had to do a lot with the opponent, and the opponent kind of really falling apart, and the Royals being like, we will take this opportunity. Tell us what you saw on the goal, because I think from my perspective on the TV, it was just a really smart, quick play by the Thorns. And it's exactly what you expect Soph to do. But Kate and Mandy seem to have a slight miscommunication on if Mandy should step to the ball or not. Kate was not in her full stride to catch Soph Wilson, who will do what she does and scored in the first minute of the game.
She is fast.
I swear she got faster after having her baby.
Yeah, I don't really blame that one on the defense or Mandy, just because she's fast and nobody could really catch up to her. The line was high and then the ball was passed to her and she just ran past everybody. Not much you can do in that situation, really.
Yeah, I mean, and then they were able to contain her. Yes, she should have scored a second one later on, and I'm sure she'll have horrible nightmares about that for the rest of her life. But outside of that, they understand that players like a Sophia Wilson, a Trinity Rodman are different. You can game plan all you want, but they are still going to get X amount of chances per game to show what makes them the elite athletes that they are. So really unfortunate that it was in the first 30 seconds, but they did not let that get them down. Was the vibe quiet? Was the stadium even settled by the time the goal happened?
I mean, honestly, probably not really. It was like initial passing around. It just felt like, settling in the game. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, she just scored. Hasn't even hit 1 minute in yet. That's cool. I honestly thought that at that point the scoreline was going to be flipped, because I was just like, oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm. And when Soph cooks, Soph cooks. But I will say, I was also listening to those conversations on other podcasts about the league, but the Thorns, I think, have scored first, and Sophia has scored first on the road, their past 4 games, and they've lost the last 4 road games. Perspective is just always really nice, when you have a star and you know what they're going to do, but that's your only outlet. I wouldn't pick that over what we have, which is a cohesive approach. That being said, yeah, Sophia Wilson is an incredible soccer player. And I almost posted this, that I was like, you know what Kate Del Fava needs? Kate Del Fava needs to be in U.S. women's national team camps, training alongside and with Sophia and Trinity. I think we'll see less of those 1v1 beaten battles if Kate can continue to have those opportunities, because Kate is so smart and I think really adapted quickly to shutting her down. And Kate had a really good game. Shout out to that. But let's talk the fun stuff. Because Cece Twinkletoes, our girl, finally getting the goals that she's been working really hard and should have already had. Who wants to talk us through the first one?
I'd be happy to. And I'll just say, to your point, Cece did mention that it was frustrating for her that first part of the season not getting on the scorer sheet, because she does have twinkle toes and she does get into dangerous places. So it was a bit frustrating, but she's going to right that wrong. And she is going to, in the first one, around the 35th. So it comes right after the hydration break, which couldn't have come at a better time, because it allowed them not only to hydrate and cool, but strategize for 3 minutes. And they come right out and they freaking score a goal. And the best part about it is she said to us in the post-game press conference that Jimmy has been telling her multiple times, you need to just chip the keeper. When you're that close, when you're in range, chip the keeper. And she hadn't done it. And so on this first goal, she set up perfectly by Kiana, who starts with a little hold up with her back to goal. And then she turns and just slots it through perfectly to Cece, who's making the run. And then Cece, just takes it and chips it. And it was so cheeky and it was so fun. And I was so happy for her. And she puts her arms out like an airplane and she was flying high. Going back to that, we're all high because thanks to Cece, it started fun.
Yeah. Well said. And great finish, great interplay. I believe Miyabi was the one who won the initial header that started that quick turnover play. Shout out to Cece and her long legs for getting there, and Kiana for setting her up. Yeah, awesome goal.
It was a great goal. Credit to her for being able to keep calm under pressure with the goalkeeper rushing at her and still managing to keep it on frame. I don't think I'd be able to.
I don't know. I might be able to, but we'll leave that one up to thought. Brooke, what'd you see on that goal?
Well, it was really kind of the only one I saw clearly. So
really,
I mean, because I'm so far from that other goal. Yeah, it was just kind of like how Sean described it. The angle I had was basically right behind Cece, but Arnold just started sliding at the right time for Cece's chip right over her. So it was really cool. Love Cece.
I know. We need to re-sign her.
Absolutely.
Which
Absolutely.
I will say, like, I will be shocked if they don't. And if not, it's because she's going to get her bag somewhere else. So
Yeah.
hopefully it's us that gets to retain her because, I mean, on Blue Sky and I've seen on other threads, like, Cece is such a well-loved player who everyone knows had a really rough go of transitioning between teams. But when she is at her peak, she is a very elite player in this league. And for a striker, she's like at that key age where like she's smart. She, she's playing now smarter, but also has the skills to back that up. So I know that they did an interview with her before the game and then they did a halftime interview with her. And then I believe they interviewed her after. And she was saying to them, she was like, well, okay, you guys just clearly need to interview me every game. So whatever it takes to get Cece on the board. But yeah, that one was super important because it also tied up the game and we went into the locker room tied 1-1 and clearly helped spark the team to understanding all the spaces that were open. So let's jump to the second half because, man, I don't even know what one happened next. It was another Cece goal, right?
Yeah.
47th, yeah.
Yeah, like right out of halftime.
Yeah, and I will say, I gotta say it, I hate that damn kickoff so much. It's so embarrassing, but whatever.
Why?
It just looks stupid.
Booming it right out.
I could tell they were all laughing, lining up for the second half because he had them all on the left side, like a genuine football play. I could tell they were laughing because they were like, this is kind of silly. They're committed to it. I don't really care because I just don't like it. I don't know.
Well, let me argue this back because go and watch how the game started. Portland had the kickoff at the start, and instead of kicking it far and out, they kicked it far but kept it in, and we headed it back and were in play with possession. So
yeah,
I don't
but
know.
We kick it out every single time. We have never kept
just
the
keep
ball in.
possession.
They just kick the ball out.
Yeah, I understand that, and I think if maybe you try and pass and dribble, you lose it, and maybe you didn't get very far into the opposition's half. I don't know. I just like the idea that you have the time while they're retrieving the ball to throw it in to shift everybody up.
No, I can see the reasoning for it. And like, obviously it kind of in theory worked, but I would argue that it didn't really actually have that goal happen because it was a recycled ball. But here or there, that's my personal opinion that I hate it. And I would say it to Jimmy's face if he heard me. I would say...
Well, that's funny because he's here right now. He came over for a late dinner. So Jimmy, come here real quick.
Well, Jimmy, it's embarrassing. And I think that we can do better. But overall, keep doing what you're doing. And I'll complain about our little kickoff just because I want to. Anyways.
If that's the only thing we're complaining about, then I think we're well off.
Precisely my thoughts. So I'm happy to complain about the kickoff because... there wasn't much else to complain about. Yeah, just kind of silly. And I just couldn't help but notice that they were all kind of giggling and I'm maybe creating my own narrative. But I can imagine being like, oh my gosh, are we really doing this? Okay. But yeah, anyways, leads to that goal because I'll just dip into this one because it reminded me a lot of that Tatum goal that we got in the North Carolina game where it was... Again, this was Chloe, I think Kiana won the ball back after a defender or the goalie made a play for the ball and Kiana smartly recycled it, didn't try to turn and shoot in a tight space. And if you do kind of watch, you see Cece circling, it's kind of like a shark. She's like doing her circles, like no one's really paying attention. And then as soon as Chloe drops that ball, Cece makes the run front post, just like Tatum did, and just has to get one foot on it and just slot it past the goalie. Just a beautiful lead up to the goal and the first brace in Cece's career, I believe.
I remember somebody saying that. I think the Royals said that on when they posted it.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's crazy.
I know, and then I was so mad when she subbed out because I'm like, let's get her the hat trick.
I know. I'm also like, ugh, I get it. 3 games in a week, but whatever. Yeah. I would have liked the hat trick so much. As would she have, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But obviously it wasn't the wrong choice because they kept that bar up high. Stockton, why don't you tell us about the next goal from a player we have not seen a lot of this season in Brecken Mozingo? Because again, another Chloe assist and another poor defensive structure that we capitalized on.
Yeah, so Chloe crossed it in from the left side. Brecken Mozingo was wide open. in the middle of the box, like wide open.
Yeah, like literally no one on her.
Yeah. She took a touch and kicked in the back of the net. It was a great goal.
Yeah, great first touch. Those are the ones where they're so simple that they're easy to miss. So props to her for who hasn't played a lot to come in and immediately make an impact. That one was where my stress level finally came down, where I was like, okay, the way Portland was playing and the fact that we had 3 goals in, I was like, all right, we've got this.
Was Sophia's bad miss like right before that?
It was right after the second goal, I think.
Okay, because like after that, I was like, oh crap. That was a very good chance that Sophia should have put away. And then Brecken scored that goal. And I was just like, okay, this is good. But yeah, I was happy to see her get that goal with how little she's played. And then just her celebration with the team, with the group of them on the field. And then she ran over to the subs and hugged them. So that was cool to see.
Yeah, she missed it in the 60th minute. So yes, after the CCE, so like about 15 minutes after. And then the Brecken goal came. It was crazy.
Chloe's pass was on a dime. I mean, it is an excellent trap by Brecken to set herself up for an opportunity to go far post. But Chloe's pass couldn't have been any better, right? I mean, it was just perfectly weighted over the defense. And then, Brecken took her time. She set it up, and she set it up perfectly.
Yeah, and then let's wrap up this game with, not wrap it up, because I forgot there was one after this one, but woo! If anyone didn't pick this as their favorite goal, I would find it hard to believe. This, I will also shout out Brecken for helping start the play. If you haven't seen the Kiana Palacios goal, hit pause on the podcast right now. Go watch it and come back to us. We'll give you a minute.
When you add Ovaltine to milk, it's good, and it does you good. So remember, we drink Ovaltine every day.
Are you screaming? Are you throwing up? Are you crying? Like, I was speechless because Miyabi has the ball. They're doing, at this point, Portland's just all out of sorts. We're kind of just dominating the play everywhere. They're just having fun. And Miyabi and Brecken have a little bit of interplay, and Brecken does a nice out wide run. Miyabi hits her. She does a really nice small dink pass to an underlapping Miyabi, which was an awesome run. And then Miyabi plays a clinical cross to Kiana, who has 2 center backs on either side of her who are not at all touch tight, I must say, but has the audacity to not just redirect the ball into the goal, but to back heel flick it through the legs. And Stockton's face says it all, if you guys could see it. We are the shocked emoji face right now, because what a fun finish. What a fun reaction. Everybody knew it was just like saucy. Miyabi's reaction to her goal was as good as the goal itself, I would say. Overall, just props to Kiana for a great game. She's been working her tail off, and we're getting to see, I think, what she was doing in the Mexican League and does for the national team, where we get to see not only her hard work, but also like her technical ability and fun things that other players may not have seen. That was a Sofia Cantore backheel finish. That was incredible.
And Maggie, for our sight-impaired listeners, can you describe Miyabi's reaction, Selly? Because it was my favorite part of it.
Yes, she full-blown covers her face, laughing, like hand over mouth, cackling, shocked, and then takes her finger and points and starts laughing at Kiana, being like, what? Yeah. What the actual hell? Like, I don't, it was the funniest reaction, because I don't think anyone expected that, but also clearly they do, like I think Kiana probably shows a little bit of that sauce in their practices and whatnot. But I don't know. What was the vibe in the stadium for that goal? I feel like we should shout out just the good vibes, because at that point it's 4-1 and R9 just scored one of the best goals of the season.
Yeah, I was not the only one who was stunned by that golazo.
Yeah,
it was a worldie. It was a worldie. You can't describe it any other way.
Stockton needs 5 to 7 business days to process this, actually.
Yeah. I'm still processing it now. Like,
yeah.
like the fact that she heel flicked it into the back of the net, I can never in a million or a trillion tries do that.
I think I could in a trillion. But, again, we'll test these hypotheses someday. But Brooke, I know you were far away from the goal, but did you realize that it was a back heel from your seat? Could you tell?
Yeah, I could tell. And I could have swore earlier in the second half she had tried that before and just missed it. I was going to go back and look and I didn't get a chance
I believe it.
I think she did try it earlier, but from my seat from 5 miles down the other side of the stadium, I could tell it was a back heel.
Yeah. Ugh. And Sean, wrap it up for us, because I'm going to guess that was your number one goal.
Absolutely. And in the intro that I curated from the broadcast, it is one of the best goals you're going to see all season. It's that phenomenal. It's just so fun because it's so cheeky. A chip is cheeky, but this is like taking cheeky, like both cheeks are out. You're exposing your cheekiness. It was amazing.
Full moon. Full moon.
It's one of the best goals I've ever seen in person.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
that
so
good.
stoked for you guys that you got to be there for that.
I'm sad I didn't record it, though.
You know what, Stockton? I believe that living things in the moment is actually what you'll remember.
Yeah.
And you'll catch the Royals replay because they have a nice angle of it on their social.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. 4-1. Could it get better from there, guys?
Yes.
Apparently it could. Brooke, round out this 5-2-1 win with who else but
the Kate Del Fava. Another set piece goal, header off a corner kick.
From who? Chloe. Third
Chloe
assist.
Lacasse. Chloe with her hat trick of assists. Finally getting some recognition from the league like she deserves. Didn't win player of the week again, but we're
hat
sorry,
trick,
Chloe.
Hard to beat. Yeah. All right.
Kate just really, they
Didn't
kind
mark
of,
her.
yeah, I mean, they were kind of in the area, but Kate just rises up over Moultrie, just heads it right in.
Biggest goal she'll ever score.
Yeah, honestly, it was awesome.
But also still had to do what she had to do. And Kate, I think is that her third goal for the Royals?
Yeah.
Maybe fourth. I think all of them are header set piece goals. I think someone had posted, and the timeline was going crazy during this game because everyone was just like, wow, the Royals are incredible. Wow, Portland's defense is really bad. Wow, all these things. But they were talking about how someone was talking about how we should sign Taylor Flint because we have such incredible set pieces and she has such an aerial dominance. And then Kate scored that, and then that person was like, or they could just keep Kate Del Fava in there, So it was just kind of a funny conversation because, yeah, if Kate can offer you that, then obviously that's not going to continue to happen every week. And people are going to start to mark her a lot more closely. But regardless, Kate's tall, she's aggressive, she knows she was a goal scorer in college. Like, she has all the right instincts to be in that position. And I want to shout out her Friendlies episode with Sam Mewis, and I got to listen, and there was lots of good, fun info about being with the Royals 1.0, 2.0, the bad, the good, the fun. Like, it was just a great episode. And Kate was talking about how Jimmy just won't let her play anywhere else on the field. So she's going to take advantage of those moments that she has. And vibes were just high at that point. Like, it's just group hug. It's the 89th minute. What else to be said except just a good time?
I can't believe how lucky we are to have Kate on this team. She is incredible defensively. She can score with her head. Great passing. I genuinely think if she's not yet, she can and will be one of, if not the greatest Utah Royal in history. But she is so good for us.
Yeah, I think that's a great shout. And we'll round out this episode giving Chloe her shouts for the Royals' historical statistics. But yeah, absolutely on the defensive side of the field from a leadership perspective. We have that core group, the core kind of four from that first season back to now who have really honed in on that leadership position. But Kate really is a joy to watch and a joy to talk to. And
off the field, she's incredible too. Does so much work for primary children's, right?
Yeah, she's a big community involvement, just good person to have on the team. So thankfully we don't have to focus on that yet, but hopefully she'll get a good payday increase in the future. Yeah, Sean, I know we just kind of really went through all the goals like we maybe didn't anticipate to, but you got to shout out those awesome wins.
Yeah, and we need to do our top goals because we've mentioned that I think we're all going to say, maybe not, maybe Stockton will shock us and say his favorite goal was something obscure. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Chloe's penalty.
I love when you earn it and you take it. So
hey, we are number 1 in penalty kicks in the league. That was another stat I curated. And what percentage have we put them away?
100.
100%. 5 PKs, 100% right on those.
And 5 different PK takers.
How cool is that?
So cool for postseason as well. Just to be thinking way ahead, to know that you have a good group of penalty kick takers.
But I do want to hear your favorites. And then I do want to come back to Chloe for a second because I also did a deep dive on her because as you and Brooke have both mentioned, she's putting up some of the best stats she's ever put up in her career. But first, goals. What did you think?
I'm guessing yours was 1 Kiana, 2 Mina. So what was your third?
The cheeky chip from CC.
I was going to say that same exact top 3.
Same.
I'll just be random and say Kate's header in this goal or game.
Yeah. Okay. This one, the second one.
Yeah. Because
as your number 3 or as your number 1? Okay.
3. I'll just go 3 because I want to say CC and Tatum, CC and Tatum's goals were similar. So that kind of boots them out of how do you choose one or the other with that? So I'll just say Kate.
Okay. All right. We like that. We're really, really just nice people here.
We're way nice.
Yeah. No, I mean, they were all great. And again, a goal is a goal. It doesn't really matter how it gets in the goal, but when you have such a variety, and I was thinking, was it last year where I was like, okay, we've scored 8 goals. Historically speaking, if we stay at this rate, we will be the lowest scoring team in the history of the universe. But now, pure opposite, and hopefully we can get a clean sheet away. So, Sean, going to come back to you to wrap it up with Miss Chloe, and then we will preview the next game.
We should devote a whole episode to what I'm about to say about Chloe, but I'll try and be brief because I know we're going long, but this episode is just full of so many fun things. But I already mentioned at 33, she's throwing up some of the best stats. Chloe is, in terms of rating, she is the top left wing in the league. And in terms of all wingers, there is only one who's throwing up better numbers, and that's Jaden Shaw. Chloe is kicking some major booty. She has started in 18 matches. She has put up almost 1,500 minutes. Kate, just to give you a comparison, is at 1,620, and Chloe's at 1,494.
And it's a winger.
Say that again?
It's a winger. That's crazy.
Yeah. You want to hear some other crazies?
Yes.
As a winger, she has 715 touches, which you might go, that's super obscure. What does that even mean? That's almost like center back number of touches. And it also speaks to just how important she is on that left channel, how much they believe in her, how much they want plays coming through her. She has 31 shots, 15 on target, so 48% of her shots are getting to where they need to go. She's got 58 touches and the opposition's 18. Here's the thing that blew me freaking away. This speaks to her fitness and how much she has bought into the system. Defensive contributions, she's in the top 1% in her position. If you take in like defensive tackles, top 1%. And then if you look at interceptions, recoveries, possessions won in the final third, she's in the top 5% or better. So at 33, coming fully into her game, she's freaking knocking it out of the park for the Utah Royals. She has been, I've mentioned it in previous episodes, she's been my player of the match. She continues to do that for me time and time again. She is all over the place, and I absolutely can't say enough good things. And like I said, we could spend a whole episode. There's more stats, but let's leave it at that. She just blows everybody away.
Yeah. Single season record is the 13 goal contributions. She has all-time club record, 19 goal contributions, and then she has the all-time club record with 8 assists.
Insane. Yeah, so she's sitting at 7 assists on the season, 6 goals. I'm officially adding her to the bucket of the double-double conversation, which many people have been having. Croy Bethune, Trinity Rodman, these elite players who could potentially get 10 plus assists and 10 plus goals in a season. And crazy enough, we've sat at the same 10 goal assist record since Tobin Heath beat it in 2017. And I think in light of the season just being longer, but also just how these games are playing out, I think we're going to see it this year. And I am adding Chloe into that watch. She's on my MVP watch list. I know I've heard other people now mention it. Yeah, just freaking bravo. Sean, there is a clip of her in the post game, this one, and she says something funny in French, and I would love for you to throw that in there.
I will.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. That wasn't French. I didn't say adieu. I said I do.
Freddie adieu?
Freddie adieu. I didn't know he was French.
I hope Cece didn't expose you too much, but I asked her a little bit about your game. She said you don't really like talking about yourself too much in the locker room. Are you okay being a footnote in the Utah Royals record book after tonight?
Yeah, people have been mentioning that. I guess it's just going to have to, like they say, the French, quel sera, sera.
Much ado about nothing. All right. Well, any other Chloe comments from the other two audience members before we preview the next game?
We are incredibly lucky to have her as well. We're incredibly lucky to have all of the players we have. Huge shout out to Chloe putting up MVP level numbers. Yeah, hope she keeps it going and hope we extend her as well.
Yeah, I realized we forgot to mention a few other small roster updates. Aria Nagai going on loan to the Dallas Trinity, signing a University of Utah defender through the remainder of the season. We'll touch more on that in the future, but yeah, other stuff happening in the league. Make sure you're following along because it's full-blown soccer season. So, Brooke, what do we have coming up next for the Royals? Who are they beating 6-0?
Yeah, we just set the club record for a single match goal record with our 5-1 win over Portland. So we're gonna beat that this weekend when we go to Denver. They go to Denver. I'm not going to Denver.
Stockton, are you going?
I am.
Stockton's going.
So he'll be there to see the 6-0 win, and that starts at 2 p.m. Mountain Time on Saturday. Oof. Yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Yeah.
So the people who are not going to be sitting in that heat will be watching it on ION.
Yeah, and also RIP Victory Plus, y'all.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Turns out having a free service that no one has to pay for doesn't really pay. I'm bummed, but whatever.
I actually like their app and everything. It works on my TV. So.
And I like the alt cast. Like, I thought it was great, and it's a bummer, but I think that reiterates the need for a better media package for sure. This one will be on ION. Denver is having a really good expansion team season. Hopefully we just successfully beat them and take home the, what is it called again? Continental Divide Cup.
Yeah.
This will officially decide that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we tie, it comes down to, or if they got the same score line, like say they won 2-1, how does that work?
I have no idea.
Okay.
We just keep it.
Friendly listeners, let us know, because what happens if it's not going to happen, because we're going to win 6-0 and then we'll just easily have it. Sean, do you know?
I think you split the cup down the middle and you give half to each.
It's an episode of Is It Cake?
Yes.
Okay. I just watched a lot of that with my nieces this weekend. I'm picturing a nice slice down the middle of the trophy. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll figure it out in another year because it's not going to happen this year. But Lindsay Heaps is officially at Denver. They have a variety of different things to be looking out for, but this Utah Royals team can handle just about anyone. Thoughts on the game? Predictions? I like to stress Sean out. Nah, I think that was really fun. I mean, there was so much I'm sure that we missed because it had been a minute, but overall, coming out of a 3-game stretch with 6 points, 9 goals, only 3 goals against, just generally good things. Sean, I'm sure you have one other fun stat to send the listeners off with.
4 out of 4, so 100% of Royal Riot podcast hosts on URFC side approve of this team. There's my last stat of the evening.
I like that.
Love it.
Love it.
All right, y'all. We'll see ya the next home game following after we beat the Denver Summit.
See ya.
Summit, you're not going to be summiting. You're going to be plummeting. Bye!
Do you have a business or service that you want to grow? Are you looking to reach potential customers in a new, highly engaging way? Get the ultimate home field advantage by pitching your brand with the Royal Riot podcast. Throughout the long MLS and NWSL seasons, we drop 2 episodes weekly, one covering all the action of the red-hot Real Salt Lake and another for the rapidly rising Royals. Our listeners are loyal, passionate soccer fans who love to show up and support the brands that back our community. We offer comprehensive sponsor bundles that go way beyond a simple ad read. In addition to pre-roll and mid-roll ad spaces during episodes, you may choose to include personal host testimonials, a permanent link in our show notes, t-shirt ad space on Royal Riot merchandise, and dedicated shout-outs across our social media channels. If you're ready to score a new fan base, call Jimmy today at 501-749-0507. Again, that number to call is 501-749-0507. Send us an email at royalriotpod@gmail.com. Your brand, our episodes, and your new fan base. It's a spectacular hat trick.